Alright folks, good to be with you again. Richard here, welcome back, and today let me see what have I got for you. Yes, a coil head. That's what we'll be taking a look at. That means we're going to bring up the Ego One device again. Joyetech recently came out with a rebuildable coil head, for the Ego One. Previously, they had this disposable where you use it, and then after a while, once it's used up, you throw it away and you replace a new one. Okay, so it costs money to keep buying those coil heads over and over again. But now they've come up with this new thing where you have the option of either rewicking your coil head, or you could build it according to your own preference when resistance is concerned. You can build it to any resistance you'd like to. Hence, that's why it's called the CLR head. Basically, the R stands for rebuildable. The Ego One. So this little baby here, the coil heads come in a pack of 5s like that in a box. Very standardized Joyetech box that it's in white. In there you get your strip of all your 5 coils here. Okay, all you got to do is just cut open the plastic and you can remove them. I already used one up, as you can see. I paid 60 ringgit for this pack of 5s. Right, so in America it's being retailed for $19.99 US. You could get this from Joyetech USA. All right, so what happens is the coils there come in already pre-coiled. You're all set to go. You just pop it into your atomizer and you start vaping. Okay, you have an option when you're ordering. Of course, it asks you to select which resistance you want, either a 0.5 ohm or a 1 ohm resistance. So you choose. All right, so after that, you start using it. When you're done with the coil, you don't have to throw it away. You can either wash it, dry burn it, and rewick it, put in fresh cotton, or have the option of rebuilding it to whatever preference when resistance is concerned. You want to have 0.5 ohms, 0.6 ohms, 0.8 ohms, 1 ohms. I think minimum is 0.5 ohms. So that's up to you. All right, so you have that option. And also one last thing, if you're into high VG juices, you also get to play around with the juice flow control, because you have that control right at the base here, which we'll get to and show you in the close-ups afterwards. You can actually control your juice hole, whether you want it bigger or smaller. All right, so what we're going to do is zoom in right now, get into the close-ups. We're going to check it out up close with a small tiny little coil head, and then we're going to wick it, and did I say that right? Build it, wick it, or wick it, build it, whichever comes first, whatever, and then we'll see how it vapes. All right, so I'm going to catch you in a bit. All right, let's get into the close-ups right now. This is the pack of Joyetech CLR rebuildable coil heads, and of course you have the Ego One battery. And what you want to do is just remove the atomizer first. Let's take a look at the coil in there. I've still got juice, and my coil is in there, which is the rebuildable CLR, which I've just opened up one recently and tried rebuilding it first, and that's the coil in there. All right, so let me just take it up closer for you. All right, there you can see that's my gunked up coil in there. That's all there is, and you actually just attach it back and screw it back on. That's about it. All right, so like I said, you have two options. You could either just replace the wick, take out the wick and put in a fresh wick, or rather take out the wick first, wash it up, dry burn it, and then put in a fresh wick, or you can replace the whole coil. Just let me show you the coils first. All right, so this is the box that it comes in, Joyetech, with all the markings and brandings and whatever. And once you open it up, you have a strip of 5 CLR coil heads in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've used up 1, so I'm going to take out 1 just to let you have a look at it, and I'm going to just break this open. All right, and take out 1 of it, put this aside, and you have a coil head here, which is really tiny and small. As you can see, the cotton at the side there. Yeah, see the cotton inside with the build. Yeah, and that's your CLR head. Okay, let's take a look at the juice control here. Like they say, you have a little juice control here at the side, even closer still. You see, there's also got a marking that says Joyetech 1 ohm, the logo I mean, Joyetech logo, and this is the 1 ohm coil. So if it's a 0.5, it'll show 0.5. Alright, the juice flow is actually this bottom ring here, where you can just open up or close it. This is closing it. If you screw it upwards, I mean clockwise, you are closing up the juice control. Okay, if you screw it all the way down anti-clockwise, you're actually opening it back up again, whereby you open up the juice control. So basically that. If you want to replace the wick, all you got to do is just open up this end here with the O-ring there. Okay, just turn it anti-clockwise and it opens up, exposing your coil and your wick in there. See that? Yeah. And this is how the pre-built wick looks like. This is from the previous CLR that I took up from. Right, this is how it looks. Okay, so you have your cotton there. Just have to remove the cotton, and you just run your cotton through those coils again, and then snip it off about 1 millimeter from the sides. Put this back, screw it back tight, and that's it. That's done. But if you want to replace the entire coil and do your own build, this is where I'm going to show you right now. Open the top up, open this top. Alright, make sure you don't drop and lose the parts. They're very tiny. Alright, and you got to be very gentle with it. Be very careful. Okay, so at the back here, it's just like replacing, if you're used to replacing or rebuilding those other coil heads, the Atomizer heads, you have the hang of this. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, just pull this out, this pin, put it aside, and you have this rubber grommet here. You also have those wires around it. If you see, exactly like other Atomizers, you have this rubber grommet. You remove and put it aside. You see the coil head, the wire, the legs. Okay, so you want to take this out, and that is your coil head. Alright, okay, since we're not using that, this is how it looks. It's just a piece with all those parts here. 4 parts. That about makes up the whole Atomizer head. Next, what you want to do is get yourself 28 gauge. I'm using 28 gauge. You could use 26 gauge if you so like to. 28 gauge wire. Get about 4 to 6 inches. I'm going to try and do a 5 wrap build and see what it works out using a 2.5 millimeter drill bit. Okay, I'm going to do a standard coil for a change instead of a micro coil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've got done 5 wraps on it, which I have way too much wire, so I'm just gonna snip it off. Get my snippers. I'm gonna have one short side and one long side. Alright, so once that's snipped off, okay, so I have my coil and I'm gonna just push it in one time. Alright, straighten out the legs. Give it a good squeeze. That's it. Alright, so I have my coil right now, as you can see. Nicely spaced out. You see this groove, this 2 groove, with a 2.5 millimeter drill bit, or screwdriver, I'm sorry. Just put it back in there. Let it sit on top. Now this is the tricky part. You want to keep the coil centralized there so that it doesn't run around. Okay, so using your thumb, holding the other finger, holding the part of the screwdriver there. Alright, so I'm going to now try and push it back into this. Okay, I'm going to have one of it go to the side. This one, if you see, there's a little groove there for you to let the wire sit on it. Okay. Okay, so maybe not this one. Sorry about that. Okay, get the rubber grommet. Okay, put this leg into the hole and push it back in like that, like so. Alright, make sure this stays. And you get this pin and just push it back in. Alright, check your coils. Okay, make sure it's in the center. Alright, so if it's moved off to the side, maybe you just want to just push it over to the side a little bit. Because if your coil touches any side of the wall around this, it's going to cause a short. Alright, so just adjust it, give it a bit of push there. Just adjust it a little bit. Okay, there you see. Now my coil sits right at the center. Okay, give it a good push again. Perfect. Now what you want to do is get a nail clipper and clip it tight as possible to the side so you don't have the ends coming out. Alright, so once that's done, I'm going to clip this side as well. Alright, push it back. Again, double check, push it. If it runs off a little bit, sometimes it does. Okay, perfect. Alright. And what I want to do right now is get this coil out. I'm going to take out this. See, I can reuse the old coil again. You don't have to throw it away. Just put it aside. So I want to put this back into it. You see, this is the juice flow, alright? This is the juice flow control. You can back it up to the top, push it, screw it and make it go all the way to the top to close it, or bring it back down to the bottom to open up your juice flow. So this one goes back in here. Once that's in, that's it. Alright, all I gotta do is now check the resistance. If I want to, I can even dry burn it. Cool, I got a 1.3 ohm coil in there. Alright, 1.31. That's my resistance. You could set it down to 0.5, that's up to you. Alright, so next you want to just take a bit of cotton. I've got Kojendo cotton here. Okay, just roll it up slightly, not too tight. I just want to have enough tension to go through, and just push it in from this side, out the other side, gently. Perfect. Okay, so once I've got my coil in there, I want to just screw this back on top. Tighten it. There you go. Next, I want to get my scissors and just snip it off at the edge here. Alright. On this side. The edge. Perfect. That's my coil in here. You could prime it, use some e-liquid and prime it, and then we can vape on it again. Alright, so welcome back folks, and we got a close look of the CLR rebuildable stock coil here. Yes, it's rebuildable, so we did a rebuild, we wicked it and all that. But one thing I want to mention to you, you see this stock coil here, the end cap where I screwed it down, okay, the ring that goes around on top of the coil. Okay, so be very careful because this ring here might get stuck in your atomizer, okay, when you're removing it, the base. Okay, so make sure this comes out with it as well, because when I was doing the rebuild, this was stuck in the atomizer. So when I tried to screw it on, I was actually screwing it on top of this ring. It will still screw on because there are threadings in there. But then when you try to screw the base back into the atomizer, you won't fit it. So I got it sorted out, and it's working fine right now at 1.2 ohms is there. I rechecked the resistance again. Let's take a vape first. Nice vapor. You got very good flavor still there. Let me tell you where I got it from again. I got this from Hyper Vape, and it's retailing for 60 ringgit, okay? But for Malaysians, if you're ordering it online through what they call Hyper Vape, they are actually located in Sungai Wang Plaza. All right, if you order it online, you pay 6 ringgit for post laju. Okay, so altogether it's 66 ringgit unless you go to the shop in Sungai Wang Plaza. It's, I think, on the ground floor, 1.05, that's the lot number. Okay, so you can get it from them. 60 ringgit. For Americans, it's 19.99 US dollars, and I suppose other parts of the world, just go to Joyetech in your country, and I'm sure you can find it. Americans will be Joyetech USA. Okay, so that's the thing. Good vape. Good for people who is also into high VG juices, because you have the juice flow control in there. So thank you very much once again for watching. I'll catch up with you on my next video. Till then, have a great week. God bless. Bye for now.